And I want to classify this group as the congregation. We've gone from the community, acquaintances of God, and now we've brought people in from being acquaintances. If they take that next step, we've brought them now into the congregation. And there are people in the congregation, not only talking about this church, but talking about the congregation around the world. There are people in the congregation that are casual friends with God. They enjoy His presence. They enjoy what they feel when they're here on Sunday morning, and they look forward to coming, but during the week, they don't go out of their way to initiate contact with God. They don't have a set time during the week to pray or to read their Bible or to communicate with God at all, because they're just casual friends with God. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad place to be. Everybody is on a different part of this journey. I often mention to my class that I have that I may be a little further up the road than you are. But that's okay, because we're all on a journey. We're all in this race together. You may be a long way ahead of me, but that's okay, because I'm working on my salvation. The Bible says, seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. It's your responsibility to quicken your pace and make sure that you're on the right path to that relationship with God that you need to have. So I'm not saying being a casual friend is a bad place to be, because you've definitely taken a step from out of the acquaintance section, the community, and now you find yourself in the congregation, which church is the best place for you to be to learn about God and how great He is. From the songs to the testimonies to the preaching, church is the best place for someone to be to learn more about who God is, so that they can enter into that next stage of their friendship with God. And so I want you to understand that if you're here this morning, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you've chosen to be at church on Sunday morning so that you can hear about God. Someone asked me one time, they said, well, what about if people come into church and they don't look exactly how you think they should look? And I told them, that's okay. You know why? Because they're here.
That's right.
They're not as far along on the journey as I am, but that's okay, because they're here.
Amen.
You see, now we've taken them out of the community and we brought them into the congregation. So being a casual friend of God is a good place to progress in your relationship with God.
That's right.
And then in our lives, we go from being a casual friend with someone. When we take the next step after a casual friend, we will become best friends with someone. And I know that many of us in the congregation are familiar with what a best friend is. When you take the step from being a casual friend to being a best friend, you not only enjoy spending time with this person, but you'll actually initiate contact. A best friend is the friend that will use the phone and will call and will say, hey, how are you doing today? Just wanted to check in. A best friend is someone who not only shares hurts and pains, but they share joys and happinesses with their friends, because they have chosen to make a commitment to that person. And I want to categorize this group of people as committed people. We've come from the community into the congregation, and now we are going to be part, after that casual friendship, we're going to be part of a committed group. A group that we enjoy coming to church on Sunday morning and feeling God's presence, but I enjoy talking to Him on Monday too. I enjoy the fact that I can reach out to Him on Wednesday and He's there when I need Him. I enjoy the fact that I can be happy with God when I'm on the mountaintop, but like David said, when I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I don't have to fear any evil, because God is right there with me. Best friends with God share their life with God. How many times have you had a friend in your life that you called up and said, hey, this is just what's going on in my life? Just like my testimony that I talked about this morning with Kevin and Allegra, how they shared that moment in their life with me. Why? Because we are friends. And they shared that with me. And there have been times, and Allegra's here now, there have been times that Kevin and Allegra and Aaron and myself have shared happy times. Times that we just were so happy, and there's times that we've cried together. There was times of mourning and sadness. I remember, and I don't want to dwell on sad things too much, but I remember when my wife and I were first married. My wife became pregnant, and a few months after carrying the baby, she had a miscarriage. And I remember how hard this was. And I remember how devastated my wife was. And we got the news, and we left the hospital. We were at the hospital by ourselves, and we got the news. And, that's some difficult news to take. We got in the car and we drove back to our little apartment that we had in Exeter at the time. And we were just sitting there kind of zombie-like because of the shock. And Kevin Legger came over. They brought us, I think, some Taco Bell or something. Some food they brought us.
Rainbow.
Rainbow, okay. And,
Even better.
and they didn't say much. They just sat there with us. And they just mourned with us. Why? Because they were our friends. We can choose to have that best friend relationship with God. Or at times when we're struggling and we need some hope and we need some help and we need some strength, that God is going to be there for us, and we call on Him not just on a Sunday morning. We don't have to think, well, I got to wait till I get to church on Sunday morning so I can have the congregation pray about my request. I'm going to share my request with God right now.